Welcome to Dugan Memorial Field in Herculaneum, Missouri, home to the Herculaneum Black Cats. Our matchup is between the Grandview Eagles and the Herculaneum Black Cats. Ray Halbrook along with Scott Latta and Mr. Matt Bates. Gentlemen, it's homecoming night, and it's going to be a fun one here between Grandview, the Grandview alum, and the two alum here from Herculaneum.
I feel outnumbered.
So it should be a fun one. A 3-2 and a 2-3 team here walking in, and it's do or die time for some of these teams here. And
Coach Boss coming in tonight 3-2. Got homecoming, got senior night. Guys prepared for the Grandview Eagles tonight?
I sure hope so. It's homecoming. If you have to get up to play homecoming, there's something wrong with you. So hopefully be a good night for us.
Two receivers up top, two down low. Deering going to just shoot it right out to the left-hand side. Hits Maloney out in the flat. He's down to the 30, to the 20, to the 10. He's going to go in on a 46-yard pass. I formation on the shotgun, and Deering's going to keep it, go straight up the gut on it, and he is going to get in for the touchdown on a 12-yard run. Shotgun formation. Quickly, right out the bar, he's going to catch it. He's just going to sprint past everybody, and he's going to take it to the house, all 38 yards. Now Barr comes across in motion, handoff to Maloney. Off the left tackle, and he will go into the end zone. 5-yard touchdown for Mike Maloney. It was until the penalty, yes. And they're going to run Maloney out to the other side now, off to the right.
Great patience.
And cuts back in, cuts back out,
One
up
man
the
to beat.
sideline. He beats him, and he is in for a 41-yard run. That's Barr and Myers.
They just did get the play off with 1 second to go, and he's going to take it to the house.
Maloney in for another one from 13 yards out. Field in Herculaneum. There's a keeper by Deering. He's going to go straight up the gut, and he goes in. They say from 10 yards out for first and 10 from the 10, and Deering takes it 10 yards straight up the gut to the house.
Seeing gumption.
Hand pitch out.
Oh, look
tip,
at that.
picked up.
That's a live ball.
Tip, picked up and just recovered.
That will be your ball game.
Matt Bates here with you at Dugan Memorial Field as the clock hits zeros. Herculaneum shuts out Grandview on homecoming/senior night, 46-0.
Good evening and welcome to another episode of Upon Further Review. This is episode 6. Ray Halbrook and Matt Bates from the Bates Motel with the Bates Motel shirt on. How you doing, Matt?
I'm doing fabulous. Another day in paradise, Mr. Ray. How are you doing today?
Absolutely. We're going to talk about some Week 6 results here, so we're going to dive right into it here. Our Upon Further Review Week 6 results look like this. We'll go through these individually here. Herculaneum 46, Grandview nothing.
That was our classic game that we did on live stream STL. Deering, busy day at the office, 8 of 10, 142 yards, 2 TDs. He's now in the top 10 in the area in passing. Lucas Barr, 5 rushes for 71 yards. He had 4 receptions, 103 yards, 2 TDs. He is now the number one, or still, I guess I should say, still the number one receiver in the area with 718 yards. He's the only receiver with 700 yards.
Wow.
So they're still finding a way to get him the ball, spread the love around. But I guess really it's Mike Maloney, no baloney Maloney, for the second time that he's been on live stream and we've covered a game of his. Mm-hmm. He's been the player of the game. And where in most of the season where you talk about Lucas Barr and Deering being the 1-2 punch, Maloney, the 2 games that we've done, has found a way to steal the show. 3 TDs, 2 2-point conversions, had a 22-point night, 42 points on the year. So in the Jefferson R7 game we did, he had 16 points. 38 of his 44 points have come on live stream STL.
How about
in the
that?
2 games that we've done.
That should tell you right now that we should be doing all their games, right?
Well, yes, I would say so. Yes.
But I'm contractually obligated to not say that, so. Just kidding. Go ahead. Hey, we're catching up here with Coach Blane Boss from the Herculaneum Black Cats. Coach, big win Friday night on homecoming. So take us through that game, sir.
Yeah, always nice to get a homecoming win. Got the ball offensively to start, and I think we turned it over on our second play of the game. Fortunate enough to get the ball right back. Defense did a good job. I think Jackson Deering picked off a ball second or third play. But after that, we kind of controlled the clock and established a run. Mikey Maloney had a huge game for us. I think he had over 150 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. But, yeah, he was tough to bring down. Our blocking up front was a lot better. And Dylan Jarvis did a good job leading through the hole and clearing some space for those guys as well.
Awesome. You talk about Mike Maloney here. He's been our player of the week here, and totals here, 12 rushes, 157 yards, 13 yards average per play Friday night. What does Mike Maloney bring different to you guys versus Lucas and Jackson?
Nothing against Lucas and Jackson, but Michael's he's completely fearless when he's out there. He just flies around with absolutely no fear, and just basically on defense, he's trying to hit everything he can as hard as he possibly can. I mean, I've honestly never coached a player like Mikey that just has zero fear whatsoever. And it's when he's out there, he's an animal, and he's sideline to sideline for us on defense, and offensively when he gets the ball in his hands, I mean, it takes 3, sometimes 4 guys to bring him down. And if we can get him to run even lower, I think he's going to be darn near impossible to tackle. It'll be like tackling a stump. But no, he's a heck of a player. He's a heck of a leader, even better leader, and he's a special player, and we're very fortunate to have Mikey.
Absolutely. You guys are currently right now 3rd in rankings right now in your district, so I know it's important to rank up as many points as you can from here on out. Going into the next few games here, you got Bayless this week. What does that look like as far as your game plan for Bayless?
Bayless, they run the spread, so they're going to try and spread you out and use their athletes in space. They have a very good running back. He had a big game against us last year, so we're going to have to contain him. He's a senior this year, probably one of the better backs we'll see. He's a fast kid. He's very good in open space. So we're going to have to be good tacklers, get a lot of hats on the football, and fly around. As far as offensively, I mean, they're going to try and man us up, I think, and we're going to have to come up with some routes to get our guys open. And again, I think it's going to all start up front, though, again, with our line and establishing the run. So I think that'll be a big key for us on Friday night.
Good stuff, Coach. Well, congrats on the win for homecoming this week, and good luck to you next week out of Bayless.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
That is Coach Blane Boss from the Herculaneum Black Hats. Okay, we are here with our, upon further review, Player of the Week, Mike Maloney from the Herculaneum Black Hats. How you doing, Mike?
Good. How about you?
Awesome. Well, one heck of a game Friday night for homecoming. Your senior homecoming here. 12 rushes, 157 yards. You're only averaging 13 yards carry, 3 touchdowns, and pretty big win, 46-0 over Grandview. So take us through the game a little bit, some of the plays that you felt was working with the Black Cats.
Well, we ran power a lot. And then throwing to Lucas always works. So that just running the ball and throwing to Lucas is always going to work for us.
Yeah. So I mean, and that's what everybody's so used to. Well, we're gonna run the ball here with Lucas, or we're gonna do everything with Lucas or Jackson and whatnot. But you're always a good third option as well. And I think Coach Boss has used that the last couple weeks here to try to open up another avenue for scoring. What's it like, working alongside Lucas Barr and Jackson Deering?
They're both great teammates. they both want to win like no one else. So they're always trying to get everyone to play at their best and always encouraging everyone. So
Yeah.
they're really fun to play with.
Awesome. And the big homecoming win, the big festivities and things like that. To me, I kind of feel like the tradition that Herculaneum's had for years, ringing the bell. Got to ring the bell quite a bit this past Friday, so that's always a good tradition to have going on. But we don't talk a little bit about what your plans are here as well after you graduate. Let us know where you're going.
I'm planning on joining the Air Force and leaving next September around then. So. I mean, my whole family's joined the military, so it's kind of I've just been waiting at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of know a little bit with your family. Now, how many brothers and sisters you got?
8.
8, and they've all been in the military, from what I'm gathering.
Yep.
Correct?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. That's awesome. So, well, good luck to you, in your endeavors after high school. But before we get out of here, let's do a shout out real quick. Player, parent, coach, take it away.
Shout out to all my teammates. They played great this Friday. And then shout out to my mom and dad. They're always so supportive. And then all my brothers and sisters always are just encouraging me and always just so proud of me and everything I do.
Well, awesome. Well, Mike Maloney, you are a player of the week, and congratulations to you, and good luck on the rest of the season.
Thank you.
It's Mike Maloney from the Herculaneum Black Cats.
Pius did a number on Cuba, Perryville. They take one on the chin from R7, 20-7. But of note in this game, we normally talk about Sean Ussery because he's usually the only back. 21 carries, 112 yards, 1 TD. I mean, right now he has 85 carries, 666 yards, 9 TDs on the season. But I don't know if he got injured or if Coach Atley, I don't know if he got hurt because Max Schnitzler had 11 carries for 103 yards, didn't get a touchdown. But it was like out of nowhere, all of a sudden there was like a two-back offense being rotated in. I mean, essentially 32 carries for 215 yards combined. So, and usually that's a one-off, kind of thing. Sorry about that.
You all right?
Jefferson R7 takes care of business. Crystal City goes to Russellville, and as we had talked last week, this was probably going to be one of the biggest tests for Crystal coming off that Gateway STEM victory that they had. And this was the first loss for the Hornets, putting them at 5-1. 2-point loss to Russellville. And again, as I said last week, Crystal City they're already guaranteed a winning season.
Yep.
And finishing strong like this because, again, they end their season against Herculaneum. But I would say, and this is just me, but upon further review of the numbers in front of me, Coach Dan Fox, I would say, throws his name in for Coach of the Year.
Agreed.
At least in our area.
Right.
That's just me. North County moves to 5-1 with their victory over Festus. Joe Smith, third in the area in points now with 104. Against Festus, 23 carries, 164 yards, 2 TDs. He has 979 yards rushing on the season. Needs only 21 for him to get to 1,000. So he's another one that just is, in kind of what I say is like a one-man wrecking crew in the backfield. He's quietly moving forward to a 1,000-yard season as well. Let's dive into Hillsboro Windsor.
Yeah.
And 67-13. And this is a team where if you want to talk about a complete team effort, they have 4 players that have 40 carries on the season, and each of them have over 380 yards rushing. They have 13 players that have a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
So what Hillsborough brings to the table is that diversity where, If you're trying to game plan against Coach Saharski, you're going to have your work cut out, and you're going to have to come up. You're going to have to come up with something, because you're not going to stack the box trying to stop the run game, because then Preston Brown's just going to spread the ball around.
Right.
You try to stop the pass offense. Austin Romaine, Jackson Patterson, they're going to come through there. So it's not like you're just, say, talking about Eureka and Kevin Emanuel and everything he's done, or Sekman and Cole Rubel. You have to account for Preston Brown. I mean, last game, only 5 of 5, 70 yards, no TDs, no interceptions. I mean, it doesn't jump off the map on you. He had 3 carries, 30 yards, 1 TD. So that's where he only runs the ball 3 times, but he's getting 10 yards a pop on each carry.
Right.
Jackson Patterson flies under the radar. He has 56 carries, 640 yards, 7 TDs. Versus Windsor, 8 carries, 103 yards, 3 TDs, averaging 12.9 yards a pop.
Right.
So again, you even tried just focusing on one running back. You got running backs that are knocking off 10 plus yards averaging, and that's not even having any stats on Austin Romaine, who I don't know if he got hurt, but I there was no stats for him at all.
Yeah,
we found against Windsor. So
yeah,
I don't know if Romaine's hurt or not. I don't know, but
he was.
There were stats for everybody but him available.
Yeah, he was. He was actually hurt. Talked a little bit to you're getting ahead of me now because you're giving away the good stuff here. But no, seriously, spoiler alert. No, Austin, they sat him a little bit this game. Got very limited touches, nursing a sore hand. So they decided to sit him a little bit, and nice backup. And he really isn't the backup over there, Jackson Patterson. That's my boy over there because we cover him during the baseball season. But Jackson, 3 big touchdowns there, 103 yards, and you'll hear a little bit more about that from Coach.
And it goes exactly to my point, Ray, which is, like you really don't have that luxury like at Eureka with a Kevin Emanuel. You can't really just like sit him or just sit Cole Rubel and expect like there to be like a carbon copy waiting for you in the wings to be like, okay, well, we got another, 1,500-yard running back here, waiting to come in as well. A team like Hillsborough where you have, again, 4 players that have over 380 yards of rushing, I just, again, to use my phrase, wash, rinse, repeat. You can take Romaine out of the lineup and you can turn around, wash, rinse, repeat, throw in another back that basically has the same carbon copy numbers, and you're forced with the same problem.
Right. So,
they pose a serious problem, which is why, and we'll let the coaches talk about not looking ahead. I know they have DeSoto coming up, but that's why this game against Cardinal Ritter is still circled on my map, and we're going to touch on that in just a little bit.
We're here with Coach Bill Saharski from the Hillsborough Hawks. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Really good. We've had you guys just keep on rolling here, 6-0. Big win over Windsor. Big night out of Jackson Patterson. Looking at his stats here real quick. 8 rushes, 103 yards, 3 touchdowns, only averaging 12 yards a game, and even putting Austin Romaine kind of letting him having the night off. We'll talk a little bit about that as well on how he's doing. But take us through the game.
We really jumped on them early. We told our coaches told the kids they needed to come out and establish kind of dominance early, and our kids did that. Our defense came out and went 3 and out, and we got the ball back, and we were able to go down and punch it in, and we kind of kept rolling that the whole first quarter that way. We played really good defense. I don't know if they had a first down in that first quarter. We were able to get a punt return for a touchdown. Later on in the game, we got a kick return for a touchdown. We were up 36-0 at the end of the first, and we're kind of able to roll from that point.
Awesome. And taking a look here, some more stats here as well. Preston Brown, 5 for 5. 70 yards, no touchdowns, but didn't look like he had to throw the ball all that much to begin with. And, you guys are always ball control first team anyway. So Preston Brown, what's he been like this year? Has he been a pretty good manager, for you guys, other than having to just hand the ball off?
Well, to be honest, we run a lot of option game, and he's had some big games. Against Festus, I think he led our team in rushing at 11 carries for 165 yards. Friday, we were fortunate. Our backup quarterback AJ Heisel, we actually pulled Preston after the first quarter when we were up 36-0. I went back and counted. We had 13 offensive plays, and I think Preston was 5 for 5 and had 3 carries for another 30 yards. So in those 13 plays, he had a hand really in 8 of those, and he does a real good job distributing the ball, whether it's throwing it, reading our option game. And so, you look at he's progressively gotten better, trusting himself, trusting his legs a little bit more. He's got a really strong arm, can really sling it for us. And as the years have gone on, he's done a good job. I know he had 100 yards rushing against North County, over 100 against Festus. He's just given us that breakaway element there. He had a big 85-yard run against Fort Zumwalt West in week 3. And so he's done a really good job with his feet, and he's just matured as the season's gone on.
Absolutely. 6-0 right now in the season. We're taking a look at some of your stats here for the points as far as the how districts are going. On top right now at 51.6 points. Closest team to you is North County, and Farmington down with 34, North County 40 points. But right now you control the destiny, and it kind of looks like you guys will probably have that first round bye first week. So take us through that. What's that mean to you guys?
Well, we need to finish off the conference slate this week against DeSoto. We need to come out and play well in that game. We get a really tough team in Cardinal Ritter that's going to come to our place in week 8, and then we'll finish with usually a pretty good program team in Poplar Bluff. I know they're playing better football. They seem to, looking at scores, struggled early a little bit on offense, but played really good defense. Even the film I've watched on them, they were 0-0 with Jackson at the end of the first quarter. So they've played defense. They're starting to come along offensively. They've, I think, scored 35-plus their last 2 games. So it's going to be a tough week 8 and week 9 ball games for us to set us up going into districts. Hopefully we can hold on to that 1 seed and give ourselves a little bit of a rest and recovery, kind of have that bye to kind of get the nicks and knacks kind of healed up a little bit and focus on what we have to do to be competitive in our district.
Absolutely. You're the last undefeated school in the county here, so congratulations on that, and we appreciate the time catching up with us.
Thank you.
That is Coach Bill Saharski from the Hillsborough Hawks.
To throw the numbers back up, we look at DeSoto taking one on the chin against Fredericktown, 21-14. Now, Fredericktown was down 14-0 at the half. Let's talk about dark clouds, silver linings. Let's talk about freshman running back at DeSoto, Eli Tebow.
Yeah.
10th in the area in rushing attempts at 114. And upon further review and diving into the numbers, Ray, if I told you that he has the same number of rushing attempts as Cole Rubel from Seckman, would that knock you off the map?
That would knock me off the map a little bit because, that's crazy.
Now, Rubel has 1,189 yards rushing, needs 11 for 1,200. Mr. Tebow has 114 rushing attempts, 564 yards. In the top 50, that puts him at 40th. I mean, this young man, again, is getting carry after carry, getting banged after bang.
Yeah.
And, this last week, some of his efforts, finally paid off. 30 rushes, 155 yards, 2 TDs. And I say only, he only has 4 TDs on the season. He just doubled his total output last week with those 2 TDs. He has 4 on the season right now. And the other 2 were in our week 1 game against DeBerg. So, kudos to Eli Tebow, still working his tail off down there for the Dragons. And, again, there's that silver lining in a dark cloud. And so kudos to him for keep doing what he's doing. Eureka, Pattonville. Kevin Emanuel tied for second in scoring now behind Rubel. He has 18 TDs, has 110 points. He's number 1 in the area now in rushing attempts. I mean, they just keep giving this young man the ball. Last week, 43 carries, 244 yards, 2 TDs against Pattonville. Like the litany just keeps going. 1,397 yards on the season. And that was his 4th consecutive game with 219 yards plus rushing.
Wow.
4th consecutive game over 219 a game.
That's just machine-like, isn't it?
I'm telling you. So that's why I say, if he gets hurt or, if you want to rotate a back in, your replacement on the depth chart. Then to me, there's nobody that scares me coming in off the bench if they have to rotate Emmanuel out.
Right.
But which ties us now in. Let's lead into Seckman Parkway South. Seckman took care of business, 50-6. Cole Rubel first in scoring now, 150 points, 24 TDs on the year, 1,189 rush yards. He only needs 11 for 1,200 on the season. There's not much else you can say. Against Parkway South, he went 8 for 12 passing, 2 TDs rushing, 21 for 204, 3 TDs. Cole Rubel, it's just like dominoes. Set him up, knock him down. Valley doing their thing, beating Central 40-30.
Let's talk about that game a little bit. Let's talk about that a little bit. Yeah.
Bryce Giesler, 18 carries, 201 yards, 2 TDs. Their quarterback, Chase Fowler, goes 20 carries, 134 yards, 3 TDs, and just happened to knock out a passing TD as well, too. So 38 rushes, 335 yards just between those two, and they account for 5 rushing TDs.
Wow. That's crazy.
That is just, give me the rock.
Yeah.
And where you've got that 1-2 punch that, but again, when you look at what their passing stats are, if you could ever find those, they can throw the ball as well too. So again, not just a one-trick pony, but if you can't stop the run, obviously Coach Nager is just going to keep running it down your throat.
Yeah. That particular game really, we were kind of watching it and, kind of monitoring it from time to time. And anytime we had an update, I think that particular game swapped, it swapped leads 2 or 3 times, if I remember right. And I was like, wow, finally we've got a game here where, it looks like that, Valley might have, that they might have to actually put some effort in to try to turn around and win, and they had to. And so,
there were things, and very rarely do you encounter where, Valley has 3 and outs.
Right.
This was one of the few games I would say where when we're normally talking about a Valley Catholic team, where you talk about a team that plays a perfect game, where, this game here, turnover here, missed snap here, there. They were that close to where, where they finally had, maybe to have, some goosebumps, little hair standing up end on end that, if we don't tighten some things up, we could, potentially lose one here to the Rebels coming in. And so I think Central, gave them all they could handle. But once again, it was like classic Valley, when they pull out. They racked off 230 plus yards just in the second half in rushing, and basically there was just no match for Central. There was no return punch, and so that they move on, still undefeated. So
there you go.
Poplar Bluff 28-7 over Fox. St. John 26-12 over Potosi. Oakville doing a number on Northwest 62-7, and I would have to say, that's Oakville's coming off that loss to Eureka, so I'm sure they had a little burr in their saddle because they were up 48-7 at the half.
Yeah.
And, Venable, 5 carries, 54 yards, 2 TDs. Damian Moore, 5 for 51, 2 TDs. Bradley, Dynamite in a small package, 6 of 8 completions, 178 yards, 3 TDs. So it was kind of like, let's get to halftime and, we get some underclassmen in. And it was, wow. We look at our Saturday games. You had St. Vincent doing a number on Bayless, 48-6. One game I would like to touch on here would be that DeBerg-Roosevelt game. Let's talk about Chad Masters, quarterback for Bishop DeBerg. 5th in passing. Again, upon further review, looking at the area numbers, this isn't just like a small area that we're talking about. These are the metro St. Louis down into your St. John County numbers. 86 completions.
Wow.
That gets you 3rd in the area. 3rd.
Wow.
3rd in completions.
That's crazy. I mean, the amount of let me interject on that there, Matt. The amount of building up that they've made over there, Coach Masters and his son over there as the quarterback, has used just kind of that philosophy is slow and steady wins the race. And I think, that philosophy right now, I mean, this is the most points you've seen right here that they've ever put up. And here's the points right here again. I want to make sure I get it right. 36 points. That's still not a bad day, even though it was a loss. You are starting to see them to turn that corner. And, I'm really excited to see what what they've got in store this week, because we've got their game against Brentwood this week, and we'll just kind of see what happens. Because Brentwood's a pretty good powerhouse there. I know they early in the season they took care of business against St. Pius, and St. Pius is really coming on lately here. But kind of interested to see what Coach Masters has got up his sleeve possibly to give the Brentwood Eagles. And we are back here with our Week 7 matchups here. Let's take a look and go through here, Matt. Brentwood and DeBerg, we talked a little bit about that.
5-1 Brentwood, going to 0-6 DeBerg. Again, going to be the game that we're doing. And, just be nice to see how DeBerg, comes back after throwing 36 points up this.
Hillsborough goes to DeSoto.
You should see Hillsborough going to 7-0, but it would be nice to see how Coach Woodland, has his boys ready down at DeSoto. If they go into the Dragons layer down there.
Right. Jefferson and Grandview, this should be a close one.
3-3 R7 at 2-4 Grandview. Yeah, Coach Utley is going to have his work cut out going to Grandview against the Eagles.
Seckman takes on Pattonville, which should be a very interesting game as well.
Interesting indeed. Seckman now 5-1, Pattonville 4-2, and with Seckman going on the road, see how Rubel does on the road trip.
Hazelwood West taking on Fox.
0-6 at 1-5.
That's all we'll say, right? On that one, that's okay. Moving on. St. Vincent takes on St. Pius, which this could be a very interesting game as well.
This is a Class 1 battle over at St. Pius, a battle of the Saints, 5-1 against 5-1. Circle this one on the schedule this week as well, too. This should be a dandy.
The St. Gen rivalry game here, St. Genevieve Dragons taking on the Valley Catholic Warriors.
Again, another one I would say highlight and circle. That's going to be a dogfight, and especially with Valley having this one at home. I guess good luck to the Dragons. Put the pads on. Zip up the pants because it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah. Windsor taking on North County.
Coach Funson going to have his work cut out on the road. Job Smith. Now you're going to North County at home, 5-1. So. Tough test for the Owls, but will be interesting nonetheless.
Festus is going to be taking on Pacific at Pacific.
2-4 Festus heads to 0-6 Pacific. Should be a chance for Coach O to go to 3-4.
New Madrid County Central taking on Perryville.
Yeah, this is kind of a sleeper game down south. 2-4 Perryville heading to New Madrid County Central 5-1. I would say if this game was at home, I might give a little bit of a nod to Perryville, but going on the road to New Madrid County, I think New Madrid might be chalking up to 6-1 on that.
And our final game, Northwest and Parkway Central.
Northwest and Parkway Central should be a nice knock 'em out, drag 'em out battle as well. And real quick. I mean, we've got 1-5 Vanfair from Vandalia. They're going to Crystal City 5-1. So, hopefully Crystal City can, get back up off the carpet after that. And you also have Summit 5-1. They're going to Oakville. That's so Oakville coming in at 4-2. Summit, their only loss was to Class 5 Marquette 14-2. So that's another one to maybe just kind of circle on the area map as well. So watch out for Summit Class 4 going to Oakville.
Absolutely. Well, that's all we have for Upon Further Review this week. For Matt Bates and Ray Halbrook, make sure you check out our Facebook page on our schedules there, Livestream STL. Check out our website, livestreamstl.tkdssports.com, and check out our game this week that we have between Brentwood and DeBerg for Ray Halbrook and Matt Bates. Thanks so much for watching Upon Further Review. We'll see you next week.